Hi everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. I'm here just with a quick share. My husband and I went on a business trip to Vermont last Friday, Saturday, and on the way back on Saturday, we of course stopped at every um, antique store that we possibly could tolerate. And it was lots of fun. It was a beautiful day. The sun was out, and we really enjoyed ourselves, and I found some treasures. So I just wanted to share them with you today and show you what I got. Now, I do these shares not to gloat and say, hey, look at what I got. I do them because A, I know that you get as excited as I do. When one of us finds a treasure or gets a really good bargain, we post it on Facebook and everybody's really happy for that person. It's fun to see what kinds of things people find. But also, this can give you, the shares like this can give you an idea of what to look for when you're out at thrift stores or antique stores. Antique stores on the East Coast are just unbelievable. So if you don't have access, if you're not here on the East Coast, I'm sorry, but especially New England, um, almost everything I'm going to show you here today was in an old unheated barn in Vermont. It was so much fun, but I'm telling you, I'm diehard because it was less than 20 degrees outside and it was much colder in the barn, but he had an entire room full of books and I had to go through them all. I was freezing, but I just knew that there were going to be some treasures there because most people aren't going to take the time to do that. And obviously, if it's unheated, there's going to be some bargains there. They're not things, because he had a heated building too. So I knew these were more things that he didn't care quite so much about as the things in the heated building. So I knew I was going to find some things, and I did. So I'm just going to show you some things, and some of these are going to end up in my shop. Um, and I'll explain that as I go along. I'll get to the books in a minute, but my dream one of these days in my craft room is to have a real hardware cabinet, with these wooden drawers. And he had one in his barn, and it was like 9 feet long, perfect for my studio. Every drawer was intact, every label. It was beautiful. But of course, that's way out of my budget. Um, but he did have drawers for sale, and I thought, well, I can at least buy a few drawers and put them up on shelves. So I did. This says the number 42 on it. It's wood. It's got the old metal handle and identification plate. And this one I really liked because it had one of the dividers still in there. So I was really excited about at least getting a couple of drawers since I can't afford the whole cabinet. I think we all love these. So I'm planning on this is my inventory right now, guys. I'm desperately, well, by the end of today, I will be caught up in my Etsy shop, but I still have 40 of these envelopes to make. They're almost done. They're almost done, but that's just to fulfill the order, and these orders keep coming in every day. So I've got to try to step it up with getting some of these made. But as I make them, I'm going to put them all in here, and then I'm almost done fulfilling the orders for these vintage book pages that have some gorgeous stamping on them. So by the end of the day today, if you are waiting, I mean, nobody's really waited more than, I'm never more than 3 or 4 days behind, guys. I do this. This is my job. This is my livelihood, and so I'm always in the studio. But this season right now, it is hard for an Etsy owner who's only one person show. Well, my mom helps, but to uh, to keep up with things. So by the end of today, Sunday, I will be caught up, and hopefully this thing will be full of items ready to go out. But let me show you some of the books I got. So the first thing that I was really excited about was this Milton book of poetry. First of all, the cover is just beautiful. It's with this gold leaf on here, and look at the spine, how pretty it is. So I will be making a junk journal out of this, but the important thing for me were the inside pages. I've been making, sorry about my camera here. I've been making, well, I don't have any to show you, but these types of stamped pages I had in my shop. They were a little more elaborate, and the thing that everybody loved about them, sorry, let me put these back, was the fact that there was poetry here and then there was a really nice border. The pages turned out very beautiful. So I've been on the lookout for another poetry book that has borders, and I found it. So every page, some of this is going to have to go because it's Milton's Paradise Lost, and well, the first part of it. And there's a lot in here about Satan, so I'm sure people don't want that in their junk journals. I'm going to have to be careful of the content. But the whole end part is poetry. So I will be decorating these vintage book pages. This book is from the 1800s. I will be decorating these and getting them in my shop. I keep running out. And like I said, I'm always on the lookout, guys, for poetry books with these with the pretty border. So I'm trying to keep up with that for you as well. So I got that, and that these pages will be in my shop soon. Then I found something really fun. This is a Punch book, and you remember Punch and Judy? This is Punch. Evidently, he had his own periodical. The cover is really cool, although it's damaged. That's okay. You know, we can fix these. And I may or may not, I mean, I would love to make a journal out of this, but it's kind of an unusual size for trying to put papers in. It's a very nice size for just the look of it and for writing in. Um, so I probably will one of these days make a journal out of it. It's 10 3/4 by 8 1/2, which is a nice scrapbook album journal size. So I'll probably do something with it. But the inside is just, it was published in Fleet Street, and the date is 1868. So I am going to be able to take these images, manipulate them digitally, and get them into a kit. I'm probably going to do a kit called Punch's Almanac. It's going to take me a while, but I'm probably going to do that. By the way, if you go to my Etsy shop, which is the Scrapologist on Etsy, and you favorite my shop and some of my items in there, then anytime I add something new to the shop, you will get a notification. So when I put things like those poetry pages, if you're waiting for those, or a new digital kit from some of my vintage finds, you'll get a notification when I get them in my shop. My tea today, by the way, is vanilla, honeybush tea, and lavender and pears. If you follow me, you know I love my tea. So anyway, this book is all these pencil sketches, and they're beautiful. Every single page is full of just gorgeousness. This one says Punch's Almanac. This is probably going to be the cover page for the digital kit. Don't quote me on that because I haven't started creating it yet. You never know what I'm going to come up with once I start, but it's a calendar for the year 1868. And the kit will already be patinaed because the pages are already patinaed, so you won't even need to print them on tea stain paper. You will not need to tea stain your paper. But I really love black and white images in my journals. And look, every single page is just these gorgeous pencil sketches. Every single page. So beautiful. Look, it's just, I don't know how I'm going to make this kit because I'm going to want to give you every single page. And how am I going to pick and choose what to do? Oh, just so gorgeous. These could be shrunk down a little bit and made into journal cards. That would be really nice. But yeah, just if you ever find stuff like this, it's just really fun to even just look at. So beautiful. This was a real find. Very happy with this one. So this will be a digital kit called Punch's Almanac at some point in my Etsy shop. Make sure you like my shop and then you'll get notified when I put this in there. Then I found this. This is an Audubon Society book. I did pay $25 for this. I never pay $25 for my books. I look for bargains. But first of all, I love Audubon. I love all of their drawings. But second of all, with this particular book, once you get past the information on him and all that, every single page has something on it. Every single page. So for $25, I just got hundreds of gorgeous images. Now, the only thing about this book, and one reason why I almost didn't get it, is because of the size of it. It's rather large for a junk journal. The images are large. But what I can do is I can photocopy it and shrink it down and use it in my journals. But also I can cut them down. Like this could totally be cut down to a nice size. And how beautiful would this be on the cover of a journal? I have this paper here because I like both of these images. I love this one for a cover. The book is almost 12 inches by 9 by 12. So they're just a little bit larger than I normally like. But if you ever come across an Audubon book, I mean, look at this. See, I totally could just cut out one cardinal and cut this in half and then save the female for later. If you ever come across an Audubon book, snatch it up if you can, because his drawings were just absolutely beautiful. I love owls. This also would look gorgeous on the cover of a book. So, Audubon. I don't buy the Audubon ones where the pages are glossy because I don't really like glossy in my journals. I don't think they look vintage enough, but you can take those and use sandpaper and distress them and make them look vintage if you come across one and you really want to buy it for the images. So that's Audubon. Then there were a couple of just little silly things. This is the Home Book of Verse for Young Folks. And I'm going to use the pages. This is a book from the 1800s. I try to always find things from the 1800s whenever possible, but the content is really nice, so these pages can be used in journals. It's mostly little poems for young people. So you can't go wrong with that. And some images that can be used as well. And then this thing here, quite often you can find something that the shop owner thinks nobody's really going to buy. So this didn't have any covers on it. It's completely thrashed. It was a little water damaged. But I, of course, saw the beauty in it, as you would. It's from 1887, and I didn't realize until I got home and did some research. It's, let me find one of the pages. It's a monthly periodical that used to come out in the 1800s called St. Nicholas, and it was a little periodical for boys and girls of stories, really nice stories. And it's kind of fun because at the end of every issue, they have a rebus or a little puzzle. Like here's one here, and you have to try to figure out. Every word represents a picture. Yeah, it's a rebus. Riddle boxes. There are really there's some songs to sing. There's some beautiful pencil sketches. So, yeah. So there's another rebus, which is really fun. Maybe I'll make a rebus kit of vintage puzzles. That would be kind of fun. But I can use every one of these pages, and he practically gave it to me because it's been sitting there forever and nobody really wants it without the cover. So you can look for things like this too. And then the last thing that I got was I got an entire set from him of these golden book, move my light, golden book encyclopedias. And I got the entire set of 16, which is really fun. This is generally not my era. Like I said, I try to stick to the 1800s, but the pages are not glossy. They're, they are, there are illustrations that I really loved all through these, so I can cut these out, put them on journal cards, or I can use the entire page. So children's books or children's encyclopedias are really nice to use. And I got 16 of these. He gave them to me for, I wish I could get the whole stack up here. Let me see. It's kind of heavy. Ooh, look, I got 16 of these for $6. They were sitting in that ice cold barn and nobody wanted them but me. So so anyway, I just wanted to share those little finds with you today. I am busy. Here's my stack of pages from the 1800s. I'm busy making some more of those library pockets for you all. I'm going to get all of these done today, get caught up on my shop, and start making some of these poetry pages for you all, because I can't keep those in the shop either. But I thank you for your support and for visiting my shop and watching my channel. It really, really is appreciated. Make sure you hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, something like that. That always helps anybody who has a YouTube channel be found. And especially if you leave a comment, that helps a lot too. And it helps me to know what your interests are, what you'd like to see in another video. Do you have any questions? I try to get back to everybody on every question, either in my shop or on my channel, on my Facebook page. You can find me at the Scrapologist on Facebook too. And yeah, that's about it. I love hearing from you guys. So I hope you enjoy my little Vermont freezing cold barn finds. I hope that you get out there and find some treasures yourself and start creating. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.